Well, hello, my beautiful Leo. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for May 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, the frequencies of the earth are changing at this present time. You can all feel it, of course, and what it means is the Tibetan symbols that I usually use may not be as palatable to the ear as they used to be. We become more sensitive and open to vibrations during this time. So I've sourced a softer frequency to prepare and cleanse your reading. I'm using Gaia chimes to cleanse hourly, so please be mindful and turn down your volume if you're someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Leo, this is your monthly reading for May 2025. I can't believe we're here already. I always say that, but here we are. Time is speeding on by, and we're finally leaving all those horrendous retrogrades and eclipses in the dust. May is mostly calm. I'll say mostly, but the month of May will actually offer very auspicious vibrations, a steadier pace, and actually a moment to breathe with harmonious trines to get centered and focused on what truly makes you happy and secure. Now, personally, I'm a little bit suspicious of that planetary alignment that seems to be presenting as quite calm and quiet for now, because, you know, this will be for the majority of the month, and most people may see this as super positive, and I do as well, don't get me wrong. However, we do have a full moon in Scorpio in opposition to Uranus on the 12th of May. Now, I'm a Scorpio, and if I know one thing, if Scorpio goes quiet or it seems like extra silent, it's time to run. Something big is coming. So I would say the beginning of May could literally be the calm before the storm, as this full moon could get volatile and intense and leave you feeling a little bit sensitive. Now, the alignments are shifting into positions that will pack some serious punch later on. Not now, of course, but we do have heavyweight planet Saturn, ruler of karma, making a massive shift from the 24th of May into the sign of Aries. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves yet and recognize that we've officially moved into beautiful Taurus season, and this is ruled by Venus. So let's take a moment to really enjoy all the positive aspects. You know, we got the sun here for you, my beautiful Leo, so you're trying to be super positive, and I feel like, you know, you are getting clear in the month of May of your direction. But, you know, Taurus season, it basically offers you an opportunity to release pressure, to find peace and lock on to opportunities that safeguard your wealth and comfort. And you may also feel inclined to beautify your home or do some DIY, declutter or revamp with a fresh new color palette, whatever keeps your home feeling like a sanctuary of calm. Plus, Jupiter, my favorite planet of good fortune, moves into Gemini, expanding opportunities for fun, social gatherings, travel, and double the luck, especially if you have meetings or presentations or even online businesses. But no matter what you do, the first part of the month shall see you shine and attract, and I can definitely see that with your first card there. I mean, even at the end of the month, you're still shining with that star energy. You know, you have the moon in the resistance position, and these are all light sources, so you're definitely looking at what drains your energy and releasing things cathartically so that you can actually step into an empowerment there. But let's get on with what other energies are available for you to tap into at this time. So basically, you are shining and attracting, and even love if you're searching for someone special to share your life with. You know, this month is a perfect time to ground your energy, embrace your sensual side, and delight your senses with moments of pleasure and, of course, leisure. Now, you may feel compelled to get explorative with food this month and develop your kitchen witch or wizard, trying out new recipes, prioritizing your health, and being more consistent with any routines that help empower you. Attending festivities, cultural events, and planning vacational getaways to help you really decompress. But let's face facts, because Taurus season will keep you solely locked onto your finances, your money, offering careful attention to build upon long-term goals and gains whilst utilizing new technology to keep track of your finances, secure or compound wealth. Now, stability will be at the forefront of your mind. You may have a thirst to learn more about financial structures to make your money work for you, whether that's through professional advice or even self-help books. It's a great time to save down financial statements to confirm liquidity, whether you have a little or a lot, just in case glitches occur or gremlins meddle with the system. Now, Taurus season asks you to rebalance, to find natural stillness, connect to the earth, and not feel overwhelmed. And of course, this is a time to nurture relationships with your soul tribe. Now, in terms of world events, and please fast forward this bit if you don't wish to hear it, fast forward to the point where I actually hold up your first card, okay? But in terms of world events, we are literally moving into an astrological period where we're repeating a cycle from 1992 right through to 1999. Now, we only need to look back at this period in time to really understand what might be destined to arise. Now, in 1999, it saw the launching of a new currency, the euro. So we may hear whispers of digital currency transitions as a soft launch before the big rollout. Now, I'm drawn to the financial aspects this month because, of course, Taurus season, it influences wealth and currency in a big way. We'll see more fluctuations with tense trade discussions. However, Taurus season will try to hold it all together with patience and a long-term view of shifting back towards balance. Now, also, we could see a country or even countries finally break away from a long-standing financial structure in favor of independence, causing a major power struggle later on in the year. Also, an ambitious move to conquer or overthrow may see an authoritative figure forced from their position, but they won't go quietly, I'll tell you that. Now, I do see a flash of a motorcade in conflict. Now, I'm not sure where this is or who is involved, but it's definitely something to look out for. And the golden era of information and truth being revealed is already in motion. Taurus season will see a confrontation of unfair manipulations, which opens humanity's eyes even further, nudging a rebellion against societal structures in favor of personal freedom and belief systems. So, for example, let's say Mars-Pluto opposition, a cosmic boiling point, shall we say, could heavily influence wild weather in and around the 14th of May. And as Mars actually is appearing next to the Beehive star cluster, this could center around and be focused on the decline of bees, which is catastrophic in terms of ecosystem disruption. This revolutionary vibration could see a fight to save the farming industry. So that's what I mean by those sort of structures and rebellious energy. We'll also continue to see a increase, shall we say, in seismic shifts and volcanic eruptions. I've mentioned the Ring of Fire numerous times. Two major volcanoes spewing ash close together in date could be a sign of a larger Pacific Ocean event to come. Now, my guides gave me a triple Earth movement shall affect many. A horseshoe caldera which burns inside on the Aleutian Arc shall erupt and be a sign. I know that sounds so cryptic, but that's what I was given, so perhaps we'll see something in and around that arena. Now, the energies are currently operating to release pressure, and that's both on a global and a personal scale. And on a personal level, this actually will help you this month and influence you to pay more attention to your values, your belief system, and your appearance, sustaining beauty routines and treating yourself with a little something something. Taurus season reminds you of quality over quantity and always offers some form of reward, bonus, or prosperity, as it is a harvest month. Now, there's a lot to look forward to, but most importantly, May offers positive expansion, connection with those you really consider dear, here. It reinforces the importance of purpose and self-care whilst opening up portals of opportunity for you to build upon for the future. So let's get to your cards and see what's going on here with you. We have a lot of energy here for independence. I definitely get a sense here of you trying to be more financially independent this month. A lot of you are going to return to things that you used to love doing, and I do see an increase here financially, but also you having a lot of like family responsibilities and gatherings, reunions, that sort of thing going on there. And by family, this could be your soul tribe as well. So let's get straight to it. Now, the Sun card is all about illumination, and this is your protagonist energy. It's really interesting, and I wish I was filming at the time, and I was not. But as I was setting up and about to do a little meditation for your reading, someone random outside my window shouted, and I kid you not, they shouted, "Leo, this way." So obviously their child was called Leo, okay, and they were saying this way. But it was so interesting because I was just setting up for your reading. So how about that for a coincidence? But, you know, I really get an energy with that happening just before your reading. Some of you could be searching for a direction or searching for something because that Sun energy is illumination. It means all the information or the necessary tools will become available for you. So it could be that suddenly you lock onto something in the month of May that helps propel you forward or build on whatever it is that you've already started there. Now, the Sun card indicates you're trying to be really positive, you're embracing joy, you're embracing stillness, you're going through a personal development growth period, but also the Sun indicates that you are paying attention to the things that you aspire to. So I definitely see here that you are aligning yourself with a wish because you have the star energy here. A lot of you may be, you know, paying more attention to things like pressure. You know, what triggers you with that Five of Wands. I see a lot of you being a little bit more active this month as well. And the Nine of Pentacles is actually a strive for being more independent. Now, this can be financial independence, as I mentioned, because of course, Taurus season is all about wealth and money and focusing on your aspirations financially. I see you're going to a Ten of Pentacles here. So a lot of you could be able to save a little bit more money this month, even though previous months there may have been a bit of a pinch feeling, shall we say, where you may have had to overspend or perhaps prices have been a little bit tight. But I do see this energy here of you building or expanding on things and solidifying. And the Sun card indicates you're keeping a close eye on your finances, perhaps sticking to a financial strategy, but also a savings goal there. But ultimately, this is a card that sees you shine. And I feel a lot of you could be in the spotlight for either a bonus, a raise, or some sort of kind of recognition for all the hard work that you've been doing. A lot of you are actually, especially with that Page of Swords there, you know, there is this energy of either people seeking you out, people from your past messaging you, for example, or even you being headhunted for something. But also I feel there's this energy of you being in demand in the month of May, but in a really nice way where people just want to reconnect or people want to reach out and see what you're up to. People that perhaps you haven't heard from in a while there. Someone who really cares about you is reaching out with that Six of Cups. You may even decide to reunite with this person. This person could have strong water in their chart, Cancerian energy, Scorpio, Pisces energy there as well, but it doesn't have to be. This is someone who actually, you know, has been wondering how you are. They really care about your well-being, and I see it being a friend energy there as well. So with this Sun card, I really see here that you are driving out the old to embrace the new as well. So cathartically, I feel like you're tapping into a lot of raw energy because you've been through a very sensitive cycle where things may have been challenging. I feel there is a calmness here, and I feel like you've been really tested recently, but this is a more positive month for you to flourish on anything that you really put into the spotlight in your own life. You know, there's literally an eye there. So this is you like focusing on something that you're reaching for and expanding it in terms of opportunity, growth, but also success, because the Sun is the most positive card in the deck there. The Illumination card can indicate that you are shining a light on what's not working in your life, or even with that self-reflection card. The Moon card, basically, it's a celestial body that cannot shine all by itself. You know, the moon, it requires the sun to shine. So a lot of you could be looking at who drains your energy, what drains your energy. There could be a decluttering of something that you keep returning to here that perhaps you may feel does not serve your highest purpose or overwhelms you in some way, because we have that Moon card of letting go, shedding, and the Six of Cups indicates it's it's something that perhaps you return to time and time again. So it could be a food substance, could be a person, could be a situation where you're kind of like fed up of being at the same point or returning full circle to the same experience, and you're like, enough. Enough is enough. So I really feel this is a big month for you to let go or shed something that perhaps does not work with you in your life right now. And we have that Nine of Pentacles energy. So you're really having a glow up with these cards. You know, a lot of you are going to be paying close attention to beauty routines, as I mentioned earlier, because the Nine of Pentacles is really about you kind of like tapping into the present moment, recognizing that you are someone who is, fabulous, okay? You know, if you look up the meaning of the Nine of Pentacles is to shine your wonderful light. It's to get out into nature. It's to build in confidence, be more assured within yourself. But it could also be that you're looking at the finer things in life, you know, this sense of luxury. Could be that you're working towards something, whether it's a goal, financial aspiration, or whether it is self-improvement in some way, because, you know, the Sun card can be an ego card. And what I mean by that, you know, there's different aspects of ego. So I'm not talking about the negative aspect. I'm talking about the sense of self, identity, for example. So some of you may feel compelled to make some new additions to your wardrobe, perhaps. Some of you may decide to go and have like a beauty procedure, like, dyeing your hair or cutting your hair, or perhaps doing something, just enhancing what you have, if you know what I mean there. The Nine of Pentacles, as you can see here, is basically about giving out a little and saving a lot. So this can be about you and a period of self-development where you are retaining a lot of your own energy, because this is raw energy. You're leading with passion this month. You're locked onto your goals. You're very organized, structured, and productive. You're definitely serious about something here, because that Ten of Pentacles is a very serious energy, and the Page of Swords means you don't want any distractions. You're locked onto investigating something or having a period where you need some sort of information, or perhaps you're curious about something that has cause for greater investigation, and you are conserving your time to make sure that you have, quality alone time to focus on a goal or a dream or an aspiration, and you're still giving out some of yourself to friends and family members who, really miss you when you're not in their presence, for example. If you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the Nine of Pentacles actually has a figure who is very successful, a lot of achievement there, but also this is about this sense of comfort, and that's what Taurus season lends itself to, okay? So I definitely see here that, you're appreciating yourself this month, but also you could isolate yourself briefly in order to lock onto a goal that is going to be very successful, and I see it will pay long term. There's generational wealth here, so some of you could be working towards this at this time, but I see, you being in a period of mastering your finances, building financial security, but also investing in self, because the Nine of Pentacles does mean that you are going through a period of self-development where you actually reinvest in yourself at this time. Some of you may even decide to put yourself in a course of learning during this period in order to open up new doors, or even learn more about yourself and cathartically let go of some experiences that perhaps you've experienced a blockage with from your journey or past experiences. So I get this sense of you kind of releasing and tapping into more freedom, more independence this month as well. Now the Five of Wands, this is a very competitive card, so this can indicate that you're kind of like challenging yourself to something really exciting. The Five of Wands, it can indicate the inner battle as well. So you could be, overriding this sense of the inner battle, something that perhaps you have found challenging within yourself recently, and you're choosing to believe in yourself, back yourself, because remember, this is only the protagonist energy. The outcome energy over here is a star, which basically means you have a lot of star power, a lot of opportunity coming towards you. Page of Swords indicates you're articulating yourself from a very healthy place, and you are someone who has great ideas. I would even say genius, and I'm not blowing smoke up here, because the Page of Swords actually is like a genius idea that requires a little bit more investigation, so you can really establish it as a plan. And that Ten of Pentacles energy indicates that it is something solid, true, and for the long term. But also this is a card of like not just building in wealth, but also generational wealth and focusing on your family. Some of you, especially if you have a family member who has been a little bit unwell recently, you may pay extra attention to that person and, you know, visit them many times until they heal. I see a lot of healing energy with that star there. So it could be that you're locked on to caring for someone at the end of the month there as well. But ultimately, I see you spending time, quality time with people that you really call your nearest and dearest, and really being your wonderful self there as well. You know, even a moment spent in your company really revitalizes someone's spirits. And that's what I see here in your energy. Now, the Five of Wands, as I mentioned, is a very competitive card. So some of you could be competing for something in this month. So whether that's a job opportunity or whether it's a competition or for a bursary or an award or a deal, I definitely see here that you're going to get really great information on this, but also you stand out from the crowd. The star energy indicates you have star power. And, you know, the Ten of Pentacles can indicate that you get more than you bargain for, or you negotiate a better deal, or you win something that is very lucrative indeed. For some of you, if you are in a competitive arena already, for example, if you're like a creative, an artist, or even in an industry that is really highly pressurized, I see you being someone who is a real force to be reckoned with and actually recognized for your talent, your gift, and your success. And you could be thrust into the limelight, whether that's through fame and being in the public eye, or even, you know, if you're an influencer, it could indicate that in a very competitive arena, something that you upload goes viral, for example. Everybody wants to see what you have because that Page of Swords is a very curious card. It can indicate people are watching you in some way or have their sights on you to help you elevate in some way. So whatever it is that you do right now, I definitely see here that, you know, you are going to either win competitions or be someone who is in the forefront runner of a competitive cycle where you actually win something or, you know, looking at the energy, you finish first, okay? Because you got a Page of Swords here, you got the Star, and you have the Ten of Pentacles. So these are very, very positive cards, okay? But also the Five of Wands can be you being more consistent when it comes to being active. So it could be that you're investing in your body, mind, and soul. You are trying to have balance, time for reflection and stillness, but also time to be like active. And I always say that the Five of Wands, whenever I'm reading for myself, which is really hard, I can't do it. Often I have to go to another person because the energy is too close to me. It's very convoluted, but my Five of Wands card is always my gym card. So a lot of you could be like down the gym a little bit more, or just being more active, getting in your 10,000 steps a day or something like that. But also the Five of Wands can indicate a lot of you are under pressure. You know, there has been this period where we've had many eclipses and retrogrades, and we just couldn't catch a break over the last couple of months. But I feel with this Five of Wands, everything that seemed really clunky and there were different components to it, it all starts to come together. If you know the Five of Wands, there's actually 5 people in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, kind of like each one's got a wand and they're trying to arrange a symbol. Now that symbol is a star, okay? And you actually have a star right here. Okay, so it indicates that everything kind of comes together, or you align with something that has caused you a lot of struggle or challenge. There may have been obstacles that you're overcoming at this time. It's comforting to know that you are actually on course to overcome these challenges, and actually everything will come together as you plan with that Five of Wands there. You know, I would say with these cards, a lot of you are in a highly creative brainstorming period where you are kind of like locked onto ideas that intrigue you. And, you know, some of these are going to be like left field that basically make you a little bit more curious, and it could help you earn more money, for example. Now, of course, if you're retired, some of you, this is you looking at your 401ks, your pensions, you know, looking at your legacy with that 10 of Pentacles there. It could be that you've been witnessing a very challenging economic market and you've been a little bit nervous because the Moon card can indicate like an eclipse of finances or a dip in the market there. But the Six of Cups indicates a return to better times. Okay, so it could be that you're looking at things increasing over this month rather than last month where things dipped in a very sort of like roller coaster way. But ultimately, I see a lot of you, whether you're retired or not, thinking about traveling, and I actually see something coming on in that you wished for. It shows up in the form of news, but it's almost like a stepping stone to something that you wanted. You know, it feels like a milestone moment where you know that you're on course to get what you want. So if you have been petitioning for something or you've been trying to accomplish something, the universe sends you this moment where you're like, okay, I'm now getting a signal that I'm halfway there or that I'm about to get what I desire. Okay, because I just feel like there's one more move or one more step before you actually accomplish the thing that you wish for. But the Page of Swords indicates you get some sort of news that you will need to follow up on. Okay, that's what I'm seeing there. Now, we do have the moon energy, okay, and it is in a resistance position. Now, on this card in particular, it says self-reflection. So I do see here at the beginning of the month, you're focused a lot on yourself, your sense of identity, your sense of purpose. And of course, you've got double the energy this month because your fourth house of stability, your home life, all things domestic are really influencing you. So decluttering your home space, or your sanctuary, you know, doing DIY. Some of you may even set up a business from home. You know, this is a period of, you know, looking at your responsibilities in your home space or in your family unit in order to create stability. But also big philosophical questions arrive during this period of where you feel like home is. So it could be that, you know, you are analyzing your journey. And especially since I heard that person shout out, Leo, this way, you know, it could be that you lock onto a path or you suddenly know the way. Or maybe some of you meet a person from your past who has a piece of information that helps you get a little more clear on your direction during this period. But ultimately, this month for you is more about finding security and grounding. And sometimes the fourth house and the sixth house, it can make you feel a little bit like things are stable, but boring, okay? But it's not at all. I definitely see a lot of good things happening here for you, but these houses that you're influenced by actually help life run smoothly so that you can embrace adventure and excitement. And of course, your 11th house is influencing you at the end of the month, and that's all about your hopes, dreams, wishes. You know, manifestation skills are super high during this time. So I would say set an intention and watch the universe deliver people and opportunities towards you to accomplish whatever it is you set out to do. So, you know, please apply it to your situation. Everyone's going to be different, whether you're hoping for better health, whether you're hoping for better opportunities, a job, or money, or, you know, perhaps a more calm environment within the family unit. If you've had conflict there, because that Five of Wands with the Ten of Pentacles, it can indicate that there is some sort of healing or resolution in a family dynamic where there has been some conflict there. It needed a breath in order to kind of like course correct itself. I mean, I feel parties are going to still be vigilant there with that Page of Swords, but I feel everyone's heart is in the right place to really try and make it work, is what I'm seeing there. Now, of course, if you're someone who is looking for a job right now, things have been feeling a little bit uncertain with that moon energy, but I see if you've gone for an interview and you haven't heard anything back, don't dismiss it as you didn't get it, because I see something coming back around for you. The correspondence will come through, and actually I see you get to negotiate a better deal or actually get a little bit more money than you thought you would. Okay, that's something that's coming through, a dream opportunity. For some of you, this could be that actually you return to an industry that you used to love working in. It's more lucrative for you, whatever this deal is. You're going from a 9 of Pentacles to a 10 of Pentacles. For some of you, if you're already in a job, it could be that you get news that you're going to get a bonus or some sort of increase in your finances, a raise in some way. With the Page of Swords, some of you may actually be deciding to leave a position in order to lock onto a new position that gives you more wealth. So I definitely see in terms of finances, you know, with the moon energy, you're going to hear a lot about redundancies and losses because the moon is an ebb and flow of things. But the Six of Cups indicates that if you've been going through that, you will return to better times, and the universe is sending you a gift opportunity. Sometimes when the universe kind of course corrects us and we lose a position or we have to walk away from something, it's normally a nudge from the universe that there is a better opportunity that will free you up or release pressure and help you solidify more wealth. So the universe knows a better way. So I definitely see that's what's happening here in your reading. Now, as I was mentioning, the beginning of the month is more about you and self-reflection. And at the end of the month, I feel you're a little bit more sociable. I feel like you're a little bit more locked onto family and responsibilities and connecting with people. I definitely see here you going to visit a family member or even a gathering. There could be an invitation going on there as well. And it's something that brings people together. And it really is quite a special moment indeed. But also we have this Six of Cups. So a lot of you with this self-reflection, you may be in a period of nostalgia in the month of May, especially in the beginning of the month. And some of you, with this combination of these cards, it can even indicate that someone from your past reaches out. And, this is someone that you may have been romantically linked to with that King of Cups energy. But this person, I feel, they're emotionally not available because the King of Cups is in a resistance position, okay, at first. So it can mean that this person has the potential to heal a rift with you, offer some sort of acknowledgement of choosing a path that they regret. But I feel ultimately the star energy, it could offer you some sort of cathartic healing in your heart, but ultimately you get to close a chapter of your life because of this. But you don't need permission or someone else's validation to move on. I just get this energy where it's a nice closure to a chapter by this person kind of returning. They don't actually trigger you. I feel like you've healed that part of yourself, but it offers some sort of indication or clarity as to why they did whatever they did. So that may resonate with some of you, not all of you. But the Six of Cups can indicate that, something is going to be offered to you that you've been hoping for a long time. I feel if you've been dealing with people who have unrealistic expectations of you and you've been feeling the pressure recently as well, the month of May will offer up a person coming towards you to recognize that they've been putting you under a lot of pressure or stress. And I feel like they offer an apology and a recognition that they were kind of like, I'm being given the word short-sighted in the fact that they were so consumed with something that they've been going through that they haven't noticed that you were buckling under the pressure. But it can be that, suddenly it solidifies a relationship dynamic between you and this person because finally they see. Okay, so I definitely see here that they appreciate all that you're doing for them or the family or for yourself, and I feel there is a moment of kind of harmony and recognition between you and this person. Now we do have the King of Cups, okay, and it is in a resistance position at first. I do see a lot of you having a person from your past reaching out, but they're emotionally not available. This could be a friendship as well. I feel like they will try to offer healing, and that is something in a way for you to move on from it because the moon is to let go and shed something or a person or a situation. But also those of you who are looking for love, I see you returning to a place that you used to frequent and love will find you there. So wherever that is, I definitely see that, there could be a reunion energy to this or a gathering, social gathering, or an invitation to something, and it happens to be in a place or a town or somewhere that you used to frequent, and I feel like you could find the love of your life there. Okay, so that's coming through there as well. Now, ultimately, I feel a lot of you are going to return to things that you love doing, whether that's hobbies, whether that's reading certain books. You may return to things where you kind of like yearn for the good old days, and those things from your past are calling to you. And if you've been feeling that you've lost a sense of self or that you've been feeling that missing spark or that missing ingredient in life, I feel you revisiting these things from your past, which mainly I'm picking up on like books or environments. I just get this sense of you kind of like reestablishing an empowerment or kind of like locking on to a sense of joy and kind of like overcoming an inner battle. Okay, that may not make sense for everybody, but that's something that's coming through, so I have to honor the energy that's coming through here. I see a lot of you decluttering though, and even detoxifying because you have the moon with the Six of Cups. So it could be something that tempts you time and time again to revisit, or, it's hard to resist it, but I feel you finally let go of this and it allows your body to heal from this, whatever this is. It can be a substance, anything from like caffeine, sugar, or perhaps something that just triggers you or isn't, connecting to you in a healthy way right now. I see you may either decline the use of it, or, you stop. It's almost like, it's not an abrupt stop of this at first. It feels like you're kind of like taking it in small quantities. So if it's you like deciding to give up coffee, for example, it could be that if you have a coffee every day, you may have one every second day. And then by the end of the month, it's like you've weaned yourself off this, and suddenly with that Page of Swords, you may abruptly stop it, but only at the end of the month. Okay, so that's something that's coming through. A big healing cycle for you at the end of the month, so a lot of detoxifying, but also the star energy indicates that you are highly energized. There's this raw, passionate energy. You're locked onto ideas, you're inspired, but also I feel like you are connecting in a healthier way, body, mind, and soul. And the vision of what you have is something that will be aligned with success. It will happen for you with that star energy. The star energy often offers up an opportunity to align yourself with a brighter future, and I definitely see that is something that you're connecting to right now. Also, I do see a lot of you have been under pressure. Music is going to help you in a huge way. Listen out to some of the songs that come your way over the next coming months. Whether you hear something on your play shuffle or, on, a car as it drives on by, or even in the mall, some of these songs will contain a specific message for you in terms of lyrics that helps you rise up and take charge of your life. I feel this month is actually a very positive month for you. There will be a dip in the middle, don't get me wrong. I feel everyone's going to feel that dip where you're going to feel just a bit more sensitive and more nostalgic about experiences that perhaps triggered you in the past but don't anymore. It offers you up an opportunity to see how far you've come and how strong you truly are. You've really taken back a power. Now, the Page of Swords energy is basically like fresh new ideas, new perspectives on old situations. So some of you could return to a project, or as I mentioned already, neighborhoods and things, but I feel a lot of you could return to a project that you have put on hold. A lot of you, this could be a writing project, because the Page of Swords is all about communication. So whether you are writing poetry or, your memoirs, or some of you could be writing a book or a novel or a screenplay, whatever it is, I see you returning to this in the month of May and really making headway. This is something that will be seen by a lot of people. Some of you could be publishing something this month as well, because I just see here that whatever you have to say should be seen and heard, okay? And a lot of you could actually publish it or put it out into the public eye in some way. For some of you, this could also be through art. It doesn't have to be spoken word, doesn't have to be pen to paper. It can be just something that you're communicating. Even if you're having a meeting, whether that's in business or in the community, because I see a lot of you with that Six of Cups getting involved in the community in some way. I feel people are drawn to you and they really want to hear what you have to say. But also the Page of Swords energy, I get this sense of curiosity and learning. So I do see a lot of you locking onto a course of learning that will help you. And a lot of you, because of that Taurian influence, it may be about financial structures, okay? Because you have a lot of pentacles in your reading. So a lot of you are focused on your body, you're focused on wealth, you're focused on stability and your family. And, that 10 of Pentacles is all about security. So I definitely see here material abundance and mastery of your financial situation, through knowledge, building, and dedicating yourself to something through hard work and claiming ownership of all you've built, being really proud of yourself this month. I feel like you are owning your time, and I feel like you are not letting anything or anyone derail you from whatever it is you're building. And the 10 of Pentacles can also indicate some of you are thinking about your sense of legacy, your reputation perhaps, or, the message that you give out to the world about yourself and who you are. I definitely see here that you are letting people know about who you are and what you've achieved, but also what you stand for, your beliefs, your morals, and things like that. I mean, there's a lot of gold here in this card. So with the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles, some of you, not all of you are going to be connected to this, and I don't really know anything about this wealth structure, but it could be that, we may see a dip in gold prices, but it will return. It will go higher again, but there's a dip first that's happening there. But I feel this is more about empathy for your soul tribe. Health is wealth, but also family or the people that you call home. So I feel there's a continuity there. You could be having really big discussions with people that you really care about, regarding where you feel like you belong in the world, or regarding, your community or your environment and how it's changed. Some of you may even talk about the uncertainty of a certain direction. And I don't see a course correction here. I just see a return to something that is better, or you tweaking a plan in order to expand on it there. And your family or the people you call your soul tribe are going to be really proud of you and witness your success because of your commitment, dedication, and confidence, but also your discipline to something. I see you very disciplined this month on something, but also I see a lot of fun. The Five of Wands can be you meeting new people who are from different environments, and kind of like honoring each other's differences. Some of you may even book like a cultural getaway to learn more about, different cultures or foods or, different environments. You could be searching for the place that you call home right now. And you could be even thinking about retirement homes, for example, or buying property abroad, because this is a real estate card. So some of you may actually be curious about a property. It may be a dream property. It doesn't have to be abroad, but some of you could see it as something that will be long-term, that either you want to move into now or something for your retirement if you're lucky enough to purchase a retirement home, for example. But I do see shifts here where you're locking onto things that you love, that bring you joy. And this generally is a positive month for you. And I'm just going to go and get some final cards there. I see a lot of you kind of going for walks in nature to take the pressure off. Okay, thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. I'm actually seeing atoms as well. When I see atoms, ATOMS, in the water, things bubbling up. It could be ideas bubbling up, or it could be compartmental aspects of your life starting to like bubble up and work together, come together as one to create something solid. If you think about like science, it tells us that everything is atoms. It's all these like little vibrating atoms coming together to make something whole and solid. But it could be that you feel things have been broken down or not working recently, but now things start to come together and you're embracing more the power of possibility and change that transforms your life for the better. I mean, I literally just looked down now and saw you have the transformation card. So there is something changing here. Sovereignty is a lot of gold in your reading. The sun is a golden orb. So this can be that this is your golden era, shall we say, that things start to get a little bit better. There's always a fly in the ointment. That tends to be life in general. But I feel a lot of you this month, it could be memories from the past or of past struggles or trauma that tried to trigger you, but I just feel like you're over it or you've managed to conquer it. Our past is important. What we experience shapes who we are. So it doesn't mean that, that when you have kind of healed it and let it go, that it isn't important anymore. It just means that it no longer holds power over your future happiness. So I see a lot of you like changing things around. But we've got small steps. Okay, so I do see compartmentalized aspects of something that you're trying to create coming together. And it says here, breaking it down into smaller goals. I mean, maybe that's what the atoms was about. Everything's kind of like fizzing, different like aspects. But then we do have this sense of everything coming together. And it says here, building the momentum one step at a time. So it's a nice steady pace this month for you. I don't feel that you're in a rush. Of course, you're still like locked onto your goals and you are kind of like working on something and busy, but I feel like it's a manageable pace this month. We've got transformation. So it says here, undergoing a dramatic change, a separation from the old life and the dying to the false self. So, there is a major illumination going on here, a major awakening with the sun and the star. So this can indicate that you're seeing yourself in a new way. As I said, with that Nine of Pentacles, you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to see that you're fabulous. You're going to look at yourself in a different way. You're going to honor the fact that you've come so far through so many things. The Five of Wands can be like you've walked through fire to get to the position that you're in. It has been challenging, but you never gave up. And now there is this sense of release and independence, and you walk towards better rewards. Okay, so the snake is there, which indicates a lot of cathartic energy with that moon. You are shifting perspective on something, but also we're currently in the year of the snake. So this is a big year for you in order to embrace change and lock on to, your best life in some way. Now, also we have sovereignty, which is all about you having control over your life and empowerment there. And of course, independence. But it says here, position of power, high status, something or someone majestic, an air of superiority. Okay, so this can indicate that you are empowered. Look at this card here with that Page of Swords. This is about owning your ideas and also acknowledging that what you have to say is important in every situation. You are here to speak your truth and be authentic and live your life according to who you are. So this can be you kind of like stating an intention, or, you know, if there's been a bit of a power struggle in some way in your life, whether it's in your neighborhood or in a job or in a family dynamic, this is about you claiming sovereignty and, you know, kind of like speaking your truth and acknowledging that what you have to say is important. There is merit and worth there, okay? So you're owning it. Also, I get an energy that some of you may deal with a person who tries to pull rank or tries to tell you what to do. But ultimately, because that Five of Wands is there, it can indicate that you don't want challenge. You don't want drama. You're actually eradicating drama. It's almost like in order to pacify the situation so it does not drain you of your energy, with that Nine of Pentacles, it's almost like you saying, okay, I hear what you have to say. You're trying to control me, or you're trying to influence me. You're trying to get me to do what you expect me to do. I'm listening, I hear you, but ultimately I'm going to do what I want to do myself. So it feels like you're not arguing with the person, because sometimes it's hard to argue with a person who is not open-minded. So it could be that you're like, okay, we're back here having the same argument or this same conflict, and actually I'm just going to sit back and let you kind of like spout whatever it is you have to say, but then I'm just walking away in independence and I'm just going to do my own thing anyway. I feel like you just don't want the drama. You just don't want the problematic energy. You're protecting your energy and you're saying, actually, I'm going to do what I want to do. And with that Ten of Pentacles, it indicates you're making the right decision there. And yeah, I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune before we close. Okay, so we have an octopus. Okay, now this can indicate that you have many things on your to-do list, especially with that Five of Wands. That does indicate that, you know, you are locked onto many things right now. You have many fingers in many pies, and some of you may even feel like a little bit busy at the beginning of the month, but I feel like it's manageable. I feel like you accomplished so much that you're going to be so proud of yourself there, because you have a lot of talent, and I feel, you know, you have a lot of great ideas. It just feels like you're locked on to making things happen this month, and you're not going to stop until it's done. Whatever you start, you complete. And also we have a pair. Okay, so interesting that there's a pair there. This could represent more fruit in your diet, for example, but also it could indicate that you're choosing healthier options. Sweet reward there as well. And for some of you, if you're single, I definitely see you're going to be talking to someone new that has a strong potential to be your soulmate. Hence you becoming a pair eventually. But I feel this is someone who will join your family lineage. It may even be someone who has a distant connection to someone that you already know. So later on down the line, when you get to know this person a little bit more, you're going to realize actually they know someone you know, and it's a nice coincidence. But there's no such thing as coincidence. You were always meant to meet this person. So that's the connection. So I'll leave it there. A lot going on this month, mainly positive, I would say, for sure. And thank you so much, my beautiful Leo, and love and light.